Over the next 20 or so videos, we're going to build this simple appetizer ordering app, right? Where you can download a list of appetizers that you see here. That's going to be our network call. We're going to get practice with that and implementing MVVM with our network calls, passing all that stuff. But then you can tap on an item, see the detail screen. You can see with our match geometry effect animation, see the details about the item, add it to our order, and then go back to shopping for more if we want. And then we have a very basic account screen that you see here. I wanted to get practice using forms because a form like this, whether it's an account screen, a setting screen, is quite common. So I definitely wanted to get practice with forms. And then the order screen that you see here helps us manage an object like our order, right? Because our order can be accessed from our list screen and our order screen if we want to add or delete. So managing that object, in the environment of our entire app. So even though that looks relatively simple on the surface, like I said, it's going to be at least 20 videos. I'm not sure exactly how many quite yet, but it can get pretty in depth. And on that note, while we're building this, I know you're going to want to be like, oh man, I wish we would keep going and build this out further and build out this functionality, build out that functionality. And I hear you. But you have to keep in mind, if we went down all those rabbit holes, built this out to be fully functional with like a fully functional backend database, all that stuff, like that's an entire separate course, right? It's already going to be 20 plus videos. Like if I did all that, we'd be talking 50, 60 more videos, and I'd have to charge a hell of a lot more for this course. It'd be super long. So again, this is SwiftUI fundamentals. We're keeping it simple. So I want to put out that disclaimer before we start building this. Because again, I know the engineers in us, the developers, we're going to want to build it out more. So just a quick disclaimer on that. But like I said, we are going to spend about 20 plus videos building out a nice foundation and the core concepts that you need to understand to build this app out further, should you choose to challenge yourself and take this to the next level. But remember, this is a foundational course, so I'm trying to keep things as simple and as digestible as possible. I will have plenty of future courses where we do go very in depth on this, more advanced courses. Okay, with the app overview and disclaimers out of the way, let's actually start building this thing. In this video, we're going to set up the basic TabBar structure of the app that you see pictured here. So Xcode, create new Xcode project. Again, it's an app, hit next. I'm going to call this appetizers, right? Team, whatever, interface SwiftUI, lifecycle SwiftUI app. We're going to explain that in the next video. We've kind of glossed over that until now. Well, now's when we explain it. And then language Swift, of course. Next, save it wherever you want, save it to my desktop. And as usual, hold option, click the green plus there, get rid of my right pane. It's on Sean's iPhone 12 Pro. Get it to the simulator iPhone 12 Pro, hit resume, drag this over. Again, that's just my usual routine there. So first up, we're going to rename this with the handy dandy renaming technique, right? Click on it, right factor, rename. Let's call this the appetizer tab view. Hit return. There we go. So again, this is we're going to return a tab view. So you can imagine we're going to want a tab view. I shouldn't have said you can imagine. We haven't done this before. Why would you know that? So it's as simple as that though. Tab view, we're going to put our text in here for now. That's not what we want though. I just put it in there so Xcode stops yelling at us. What we want in our tab view is to actually show 3 different screens, right? If I pull up the design again, you see we have our home tab, our account tab, and our orders tab. So we're going to need those 3 screens. So I'm going to create those files right now. So again, in the appetizers, Command N, we're going to build them out later, but let's at least get the file created because we're going to need it. So SwiftUI view, hit next. We'll call this the appetizer list view, right? That's kind of the home screen, if you will. Again, we're going to do this 3 times, Command N, new SwiftUI view. Let's call this the account view, create. And then the other one is the order view, right? SwiftUI view, order view. So I just created 3 SwiftUI views, which is going to be our screens. Now for the text, just so we know like what's what, here in the order view, I'm going to actually put the text to say order view. That way, when we actually tap our tabs, we can see okay, yeah, we are on the proper screen. So call order view, account view, and then appetizer list view, appetizer list view. Okay, so back to our appetizer tab view here. Now I can start putting these screens in my tab view and then giving them the proper icon, the proper name, all that good stuff for the tab bar. So let's do that. Instead of text here, I want an appetizer list view, right? We'll initialize that with empty. Now here we want to put on a modifier, right? A tab item modifier, and it has a label. So let's get our builder here, and it's going to take an image, and we want to do system name, because we're going to use an SF symbol. That's pretty common for the tab bar. Of course, you could use your own images if you like, but it's pretty common to use the SF symbols. So what do we want to use? Let's go to our SF symbols here. We want a picture of the house, right? That's what is on the design. So just type in house. See different variations of it. If you want circles, cool, use that. I'm just going to use the house outline here. So Command-Shift-C to copy, and we'll tab back to our Xcode. And for the string here, paste in house. I guess you could have just typed house. That's pretty simple, but there we go. And then now we need a text for the title. So text, and it's going to be home. That's what we want to call our tab. So now let's hit resume on our preview here and see what we got. Hit resume. We want to minimize that again. There you go. You can see we have our home tab. That's the only one, and it does show the appetizer list view. So let's copy and paste this because we want this 2 more times, right? So copy, and again, be careful. Copy paste errors, they'll get you. Instead of the appetizer list view, we want the account view. And the tab item for the account view, we don't want to be the home in the house. You can see we have 3 tabs at the bottom. They're all the home in the house. That's not what we want. So let's see what we want for account. Again, back to our trusty SF symbols. Type in person, and then you can see all the different types of person type icons you can have for your account. Again, I just kept it simple and went with this outline person. So again, Command-Shift-C to copy. Tab back to Xcode, and instead of house here in our account view, it's Command-V for that to be a person. And then now you see our tab bar updates there to a person. And instead of it saying home, let's call it account. Cool. Now you can see our tab bar updating in real time down there. And again, instead of appetizer list view, we want in order view. In the image for the order, pulling up the design again, you can see it's like a nice little bag inspired by the Apple app to actually shop. Someone might have shopped for an iPhone 12 recently, don't know. So let's just do our SF symbols again. Type in bag. Okay, again, various types of bags. Again, I kept it simple, just did bag. I'm not even going to copy and paste that. I'm just going to type in bag. Pretty simple there. And again, we don't want it to be called home. We want it to be called order. Right, so now you can see our tab bar taking shape. We have home, account, order, looking nice. And now if we run this in our preview here, click the play button. Again, you get this bluish gray background. Now when we tap account view, we can see it says account view. Tap order, see it says order view. We're good to go there. Now we'll stop this, but you can see this is like the default blue color. Again, pulling up the designs, we have this nice dark green as like our primary brand color. So we want to make our tab bar, have that color as the accent color. But first, we need to create that color. So we did this before in the weather app, but you go to assets, hit the plus button down here, and we want to create a color set. And here you go. We're going to name the color brand primary. I like to, if possible, right? Sometimes the design doesn't call for it, but if possible, I like to have my colors be a generic name, like a brand primary, right? Whatever app you're in, Twitter, YouTube, it's gonna have a primary brand color. That way, if that color ever changes, whether it's a completely different color or maybe a completely different shade, I don't have to go renaming everything. I know it's the primary brand color. So tap on any appearance here, and then pull out the right pane if it's not pulled out there. We want to go to input method here. We want 8-bit hexadecimal because I have the hex code. I'm going to paste this in here. It's a hashtag 00633D for our dark green color. Hit return. There you go. And then we want this to be for any appearance. It's going to be the same, dark or light mode. If we wanted a different shade of it for dark mode, we can change that, but we're going to keep it the same here. So we're going to keep any appearance there. So now we have a color called brand primary, as you can see there. So back in our appetizer tab view, it's pretty simple, right? On our tab view, we can do .accent color, and it just takes in a color. So we do color, and then brand primary. And we're going to refactor our colors so we don't have to type, I don't want to have to type out brand primary every time I use it. We're going to refactor that later. But now if I hit resume, oftentimes in the preview, you won't see this color type accent stuff. So let's go ahead and run this on the simulator so we can see. And then, yep, on the simulator, you can see the dark green home, dark green account, dark green order view. So now our tab bar is set up. Let's spruce up our views here real quick, just so it's more obvious. And we're going to need to do this anyway. So stop the simulator. We're going to add the navigation view with the navigation title to each of these views, right? So if I go to appetizer list view, let's wrap our text in a navigation view. Put this Command X, Command V to put that in there. And then on our text, for now, we're going to obviously change this, but I want to get the visual there so we can see it better. Say .navigation title, and we're going to call this appetizers. Now, I like to kind of put emojis in mine. You don't have to. I'm going to do fries. You can put any food you want in there. that's kind of like an appetizer. But I like my navigation view here. I don't know. I just like how it looks, right? You got the emoji, then the name. If you don't like that, don't use the emoji. If you want a different emoji, use a different emoji. Cool. But I'm going to copy this whole navigation view. That way it's quicker to type for the rest of our views here, right? So if I go to account view, again, over this whole text, copy paste. Obviously this is not the appetizer list view. Let's just call this orders for now. And then not appetizers for our title. And you can see it updating in real time, right? On the right, orders. And then the emoji I want is kind of like a receipt looking thing, right? See, this is the danger. I just realized I'm on the wrong screen. So no, this is the account, right? So this is where copy pasting and going too fast can kind of bite you. So you always kind of want to check that. We're on the account screen, not the order screen. Got a little ahead of myself. And for account, I just want to use a laughing emoji, right? You can use whatever you want. We'll just put that there because accounts are funny, like, aren't they, right? So again, order view, paste here. Now we'll do what I was talking about before. We'll call this orders. And then orders. So hopefully this is repetition, right? We've built a couple navigation titles before. That's why I'm going a little quicker. Type in receipt. And again, I just like this look of my navigation titles with the little emoji. So if we run this again, so we don't have our tab bar because we ran it from our order view, right? So our previews, when we start them, like it treats this as like the entry point. So let's make sure we go back to our appetizer tab view. Now we run it. So now we have appetizers, account with our nav title bar, and order. So that's it for the setup and just the overall structure of our tab view. Just a quick review. It's pretty straightforward, right? You create a tab view. In the view builder of your tab view, you give it, whatever views you want, and then you got to make sure you create a tab item modifier on that view so you get, the image and the text. And then again, to change the accent color, right? Whatever color the highlight, there you go. Dot accent color, and then pass in whatever color you like. In the next video, we're going to dive into the new app lifecycle of SwiftUI, right? You see appetizers.app. Like, what is this app thing? What is this scene? What is this window group? What main? Like, what is that? We're going to talk about all that in the next video.